Hello everyone, welcome to the Ichimoku.co daily FX market review for the trading day ending Tuesday, August 18th. Well, firstly to the Euro US dollar on the daily charts, and here we see formation of a fairly large black body candle. The last candle on the chart here is one that is still currently completing, but this black body candle that has completed trading today has seen the sellers close with very strong control, build very strong downside momentum, and that followed an indecisive spinning top candle that had a possibility of changing the trend back to the upside. Now the problem always was going to be for that candle, or the candle following, the strong resistance at the Ichimoku cloud. And we saw on that indecisive candle that the market tested just to the bottom of the cloud, and we saw some strong rejection coming into the market. Today we've seen a continuation of the trend to the downside, lower high, lower low. Solid downside momentum, solid commitment from the sellers. Importantly, the market has breached down through the Tenkan Sen and has failed to hold a support. That's the green line there, and it suggests that we now have a short-term negative trend in that short-term time frame. Now, having said that, however, we've seen the market find strong support at the Kijun Sen indicator. And that's going to be a very, very important level for us moving forward. The Kijun Sen trades at 110.10, and at the moment, in this current candle that is developing, we are seeing some buying coming into this market off that Kijun Sen support. If the market does continue to rally, we're likely to find very strong resistance at the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud once again, and for today's candle it is developing, it'll be at roughly about 111.20, and as we move further into the next few days it'll start to move lower. Just looking at the hourly chart with the Euro US dollar, and here we've seen the levels, the pivot point levels, acting quite strongly for today's trading, as they did for the previous day's trading. Just looking overall, we have a negative market in the longer term time frame. We've been negative for a couple of days now, and that gives us our overall direction. So our overall direction is short based on the hourly charts. But if we look at this market for today's trading as it completed, we opened down below each of the pivot point below the Ichimoku cloud, below the Kijun Sen indicator, and below the Tenkan Sen indicator, and also below the middle pivot point level. The market then sold off and found strong support at the first pivot point support level, rallying to the middle level, finding resistance there, selling off down through there, and tested down to the second pivot point support level and held there for the remainder of the trading day. For today's trading, this new session, we've seen a similar open, where we've opened below each of the levels and below the middle pivot point level. We've rallied, but we've actually breached down up through the middle pivot point level to find resistance at the Kijun Sen. Now, a big question here moving forward is going to be, will the Kijun Sen hold? So we have to watch that area very closely. If we see bullish activity up above there, we could see the market test to the first pivot point resistance level at 106.90, but any selling coming into this market down through the middle level and testing through the Tenkan Sen could see the market trading down through to the first pivot point support level at 109.91. The Tenkan Sen trades at 110.35, and as I've mentioned, a bearish close below there could see this market easily trade down through the first pivot point support level. Any rally through the Kijun Sen is likely to find strong resistance, firstly at the first pivot point resistance level, and then at the bottom of the Ichimoku cloud, which at the moment would be roughly around the 110.84 level. Next to the US dollar, Japanese yen on the daily charts, and if you recall, last time we were looking at the market trading up through this highlighted zone and up above the 124.70 level, and we've seen the market trade up above there in a bullish manner on several occasions, and then for strong selling to come into the market, and that's what's happened about a week or so ago. Strong selling, but no follow through to the downside. Importantly, however, we've seen some very weak candles testing to the top of that zone and close to the 124.70 level, but also the Tenkan Sen holding as strong resistance for these candles. Now, if the market does sell off, we'll be looking to the Kijun-sen 124.13 as the benchmark here. It could provide strong support, so we'll see whether we see any buying coming in there, but a strong bearish close down below there could initially see the US dollar Japanese yen trading down to the bottom of this zone, roughly about the 123.50 area. Moving to the hourly charts with the US dollar Japanese yen, and here we see fairly indecisive trading for today's session. Has closed initially opening above each of the Ichimoku indicators and above the middle pivot point level, rallying but not finding that first resistance level, selling off to trade through the Ichimoku cloud, find support at the first pivot point support level, then rallying back up through the top of the cloud for some fairly indecisive trading for the remainder of the trading day. So not any clear direction in that longer term or in that medium term time frame. At the moment the market's opened just around the top of the Ichimoku cloud for some neutral trading, finding support now over the last couple of hours at the bottom of the cloud, but starting to just test down below that bottom of the cloud. A strong bearish close down below the cloud with some strong follow through could easily see this market trading down to 124.20 first pivot point level support, and a breach down through there in a bearish manner could see the next level tested at 124. By the same token, a strong rally off the bottom of the cloud support and a breach up through the Ichimoku cloud could see the market testing to the first pivot point resistance level at 124.55.